Other communities will escort their children and themselves to go seek professional help. But black people, generally speaking, have fought it until recent vintage, saying, I'm just not going. I'm not going to sit down and talk to somebody. The danger of Sister Cheyenne Bryant, not Doctor, Sister Cheyenne Bryant, is that it pulls us back further because we already had suspicion, we already had a pregnant pause, and we already had an overwhelming trepidation as to whether or not medical mental health was appropriate for us. We have a
Now, if you remember how buddy-buddy they were in the interview, for him now to come out and say Sister Cheyenne Bryant instead of Doctor, that is a very serious demotion. Look, I'll be honest with you. Pastor Jamal Bryant is not someone who I usually find myself nodding along in agreement with. The whole sanctuary to the street corner brand, the personal history, the boycotts, the performative energy is usually not my cup of tea. I've mentioned issues on this channel in the past, and I know a lot of you all have too. So when this name entered the Cheyenne Bryant conversation, when it started trending, my first instinct was to keep it moving, you know? Nothing to see here. But I didn't. I listened, and I'm glad I did, because what he said needed to be said. And he said it better than most people would have.
I don't know whether you know it or not, but Martin Luther King Jr. was just 26 years of age when he received his doctorate of philosophy degree from Boston University. At 25 years of age, he was called to be the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama.
That's right.
Small tidbit of a fact is being the youngest pastor in town and the most highly educated amongst them, a lot of the preachers bucked back because they couldn't believe that this young man at 26 already had an earned doctorate degree.
Sure did.
So almost as an act of defiance and cynicism, they began historically calling each other Doc, because they said, if this young man can be a doctor, then so are we. As a consequence.
That's interesting. That's interesting to know. That's a great historical framing right there for this Cheyenne Bryant discussion. Should people just be allowed to call themselves a doctor because they feel like it? And in these people's case, and in these pastors' case, out of jealousy.
Black preachers all over started calling themselves Doc because of this young man who in fact was a legitimate trailblazer. Same thing happened at the rise and the emergence of Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes. When he became a bishop, there became a flurry of those who called themselves bishop without consecration, without impartation, and without jurisdiction.
I see where you're going.
This man from West Virginia, not hailing from a mainline denomination, can find himself in that title, then I will bestow that honor on myself.
Yeah.
And so you saw a large wave of people who were calling themselves bishop when they had no jurisdiction, no fellowship, no organization, and no pastors under them. I am proud. I'm privileged. I'm grateful. I am blessed. Here's the reality. Only between 2.5% and 3% of black people have a earned doctorate degree.
That's right.
I'm overwhelmingly blessed. My father, Bishop John Richard Bryant, has a doctorate degree from Colgate University. My mother received her doctorate degree from United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio. My sister has her PhD from Duke University in psychology. And I was blessed of God to receive a doctorate degree, having studied at Oxford University and being certified by the Graduate Theological Foundation.
Now, you see how easy that was for him to roll off? Somebody that's been through a doctoral program can do exactly what he just did. And he told you his family's legacy in this. So if somebody's coming along as a charlatan and purporting themselves to be what you've known for your whole life, your whole family, even his sister, you should take offense to that. And I don't know why we're allowed to have these people play in our faces, with these, I got 2 honorary doctorates and I've been calling myself a doctor before I even started at Argosy University. That's not Colgate. That's not Duke. That's definitely not Oxford. And she's out here because she made some people feel good about the choices that they made in their lives.
Also hold a doctorate degree. This is an absolute blessing from God. And so I have a different vantage point when I am hearing the conversation, the controversy, and the contention around Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It really exposes a flurry of contradictions and hypocrisies that we really have not grappled with appropriately. I want you to consider the fact that Black people, by and large, already have overwhelming reticence around assistance towards mental health.
That's right.
There's far too many of us who have lived through trauma, have had to deal with the lacerations of childhood wounds, won't sit on the couch, won't talk to a professional, won't seek help. Because somehow we have made therapy synonymous with being crazy.
Right. There's already a stigma in the Black community. And why tarnish the profession further? None of it made sense. Black Americans already approach mental health care with a level of skepticism that is justified in a way. There's a long history of medical mistreatment in this country and being dismissed as ignorance and say what you want to say about another controversial person, Charlemagne. Charlemagne's openly talking about his struggles with mental health, and his subsequent books opened up the door to this probably new age, it's all right to go get therapy. But then something like this Cheyenne Bryant revelation, it kills all that hard work. This is not a game. This is very serious. And I don't understand why people are just like, people are just hating on her. They're hating on her. Pretty pain. It's not pretty privilege. No, there's something real that happened here that she needs to clarify before she goes any further in the culture.
As opposed to it being a tributary to being balanced. Other communities will escort their children and themselves to go seek professional help. But Black people, generally speaking, have fought it until recent vintage, saying, I'm just not going. I'm not going to sit down and talk to somebody. The danger of Sister Cheyenne Bryant, not Doctor, Sister Cheyenne Bryant, is that it pulls us back further because we already had suspicion, we already had a pregnant pause, and we already had an overwhelming trepidation as to whether or not medical mental health was appropriate for us.
Now, if you remember how buddy-buddy they were in the interview, for him now to come out and say Sister Cheyenne Bryant instead of Doctor, that is a very serious demotion, because I'm assuming he has her information. He could call for clarification. He could get a conversation with her like it wasn't nothing. And in fact, I think she said she had several bishops that she was talking to that were her advisors in a way. So why did none of those other bishops do what Pastor Jamal Bryant is doing here? A question worth asking.
Appropriate for us. We have a long-standing, had a pregnant pause around how it is that we have been treated, as cited in the book Medical Apartheid.
Yes.
And so for those who are yearning to breathe free, not having to question the credentials and the qualifiers, raises for us another stumbling block. To argue with your full chest that accreditation is not necessary, that the submission is only for an insurance payout, and that credentialing is only to be monitored by God, is in no uncertain terms, it is a offense and it is a felony of consciousness to suggest that those who did the heavy lifting and the hard work are really charlatans who are trying to take advantage of the community. My sister, Dr. Tamar Bryant, is the outgoing president, former president, of the American Psychological Association.
What? Hold up. Now we know why he had to say something. Wow. She is the head.
Former president of the American Psychological Association.
His literal sister is the former president of the APA. That makes 100% sense on why he has to come out here and say something, because she is not having it. But that lets you know the levels that this conversation has reached, from humble beginnings here on YouTube with guys with a microphone, the ones that they say everybody should take their microphone away. Yeah, we were the ones that were on it. We were the ones that were telling you the truth. And I'm going to assure you, I'm going to tell you, we're the ones that are right on most things, right? But that's crazy. That connection right there. Oh, he got a phone call. He got a nice phone call. He was like, you platform this chick? Because his podcast was part of her initial run where she was going through, Cam Newton and Dear Future Wifey, Club Shay Shay. Actually, Club Shay Shay was probably later. But that is very interesting. Got a sister, PhD sister in the field. Yeah, you got to get that right.
The outgoing president, former president of the American Psychological Association, a Black woman who earned her bachelor's, master's, and PhD from Duke University. Her credentials are available online, as is her dissertation.
So that means the APA is well aware of this Cheyenne Bryant situation. Could have been so simple. Now we here.
To see her work feverishly, to prove herself, to try to enlarge the conversation, to bring us to a table where other places we were only allotted a folding chair, is absolutely criminal. I want to point back to you because with blood dripping on my hands, this uncredentialed, uncertified professional, I yielded my platform to. And right here, I want to show you this clip about discipline on taking a bathtub that would not be in any way sanctioned by a licensed therapist, psychologist, a pastor, or even a Christian.
That's part of Cheyenne's whole shtick. Talking provocatively in front of a pastor is crazy, though.
Watch this.
I want to go further because people are going to be like, okay, doc, that's cool. That's all the surface stuff. Taking a bath together. No sex. Because you both have what the Bible says marriage requires, discipline. To take a bath together.
Hey.
And have a conversation. A little triggered over there? A little triggered?
No, I just got to couch this. I got to couch this. Don't take that bath until y'all get that ring on there.
Until you get that discipline, too.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Discipline.
You're going to make me lose my license. Listen, she's talking to married people.
Whoa, you heard that? You heard that? You're going to make me lose my license. Was that a Freudian slip like no other? She ain't got no license, so she don't care about yours, obviously. But the fact that he even said that in the midst of that moment is kind of crazy. The boldness, too. Like, you know what I mean? She don't even care. She's just like, this is how I get down. This is how I'm giving it up. I don't care about your position.
My license. Listen, she's talking to married people. A different, a heightened level. Thank you.
And let me say this.
Yes.
I'm also talking to unmarried people.
See?
Because
Don't get in that bathtub.
If you
don't
have,
y'all get in that bathtub.
Listen, if you have the true essence of discipline.
Yeah, no, they ain't got it.
But there are some men.
Yeah, he probably got a couple calls off of that one. You let that woman sit there and say that about what? And you supposed to be a minister? Oh, no.
That do.
Yeah.
And let me go further. Because
They must teach Tai Chi.
Because you're supposed to save your chai tea.
Yes.
Which is really your sperm.
Yes.
Until you.
Did you hear what she said? She didn't even understand Tai Chi. You're supposed to save your chai tea. Your chai tea? Really? We ain't talking about Starbucks here. What are you talking about? She always getting them words twisted, boy. You're supposed to save your chai tea, which is your sperm. What are you talking about? This chick. If you couldn't have seen it coming, I don't know what to tell you.
Because
they must teach Tai Chi.
Because you're supposed to save your chai tea.
Yes.
Which is really your sperm.
Yes.
Until you're doing something that's productive, fruitful, and
Get
will
in-
multiply.
Get in the tub with a bathing suit on. Don't just get in there.
Let me say this, ladies and fellas. Let me say these, ladies and fellas. A man who could bathe with you and be disciplined enough to not touch you is a reassurance for you. I did that with a man. I did that with a man. Listen, I don't listen to Pastor Bryant. Okay?
Gentlemen, don't play with it.
Pastor Bryant is
You're going to mess up.
Listen, he talked.
We have to be
talking
zealous, responsible, and protective of our spaces. And when you know better, then you got to do better. You trusted me because you follow this podcast. You follow my ministry. You have confidence on what it is that I present to you. And I did not do that which was noble, and that which was just, by extending this platform to somebody who does not see the value in licensure, insurance, or even the certification of higher education. I make a commitment to you that I will not put anybody on this stage, on this platform, who we have not appropriately vetted, who we have not done a due diligence scrub, because we understand what it means to hold ourselves accountable and to hold ourselves to be true. And so I make a pledge to do better and expose to you the best of every field and in every endeavor to always give you the highest in the achievement of that area. To that end, we are in one of the most dastardly fights of our lives.
He said we are in one. That's so pastor coded.
We are in one of the most dastardly.
We are in one of. We are in one of.
We are in one of the most dastardly fight.
Anyway, yeah, man. So, hey, shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant for doing the right thing. He made it clear when someone fakes their credentials in this specific space, this platform, it doesn't just embarrass individual, it pulls the whole community back. You know, it hands ammunition to every person who already believed professional mental health care wasn't a honorable profession. He did a great job anchoring that with and this is where in the ministry where writing comes in, he did a great job of connecting Martin Luther King Jr. earning his doctorate from Boston University at 26 and other preachers feeling threatened or dismissive. They started calling each other doc as a kind of defiance. But really what it is what exactly Cheyenne Bryant is doing here, which is work avoidance. If we know now she was enrolled in Argosy in a doctoral program, but it appears she wasn't able to complete that program because of whatever was going on with their financial situation. So why not then, if you are committed to this work, transfer your credits, even if you have to go back or start over in some way, to go back and actually finish that up. But we know why, because Cheyenne said she really didn't want a license. She just wanted to do what she's doing now, which is life coaching, which she could have done without a degree. And people would have been the same, you know. I'm glad he took this time to actually address it. You know, like it feels like sometimes we're in a vacuum because you don't hear Cam Newton or Shannon Sharp or any of the other platforms, Joe Budden. Well, I guess Joe Budden, to a certain extent, they have covered it in recent weeks, and they realize the error of their ways. But you don't hear anybody really atoning for the fact that they platformed this woman and that they put her up there. Because what I've heard recently is that a lot of people want to blame it on those men, and therefore all men are responsible for Cheyenne Bryant because she sells exactly what she was selling in that clip. She sells sex. In front of a pastor, she's tried to do this. She's giving imagery of being in a bathtub together. And he's up there, he's blushing, he's a man, you know, so he understands the implications of that, but she's been allowed to go unchecked. Up until recently, this would have been going on for I don't know how long, you know, but anyway, I think it was a good video here. Like I said, I don't agree with everything Pastor Jamal Bryant says. He's had some controversy in the past few years, but this I can get in line with. This is where you need to be. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads, and don't forget to hype the video. Hyping this video pushes this in the algorithm. This is Faucette Media.